Hi everyone, it's Renee with Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a little collaboration with my friend Katy from Eastwick's Paper and Ink. I will have her channel linked below. We decided to focus on dry embossing. I know I'm pulling out alcohol inks and that is not dry embossing. I will show you a really cool technique for dry embossing, but I thought I would leave all this alcohol ink play in because I am new to them and I'm learning, so I'm playing around. I'm also going to be using some Unity stamps sets. I love Unity stamps. They are fairly local to me. I'm in Wisconsin and they're in Minnesota. I call that local. They cook everything to order, and so they're never out of stock, and they always have the most perfect items. So I'm using the colors of the rainbow here. I have cranberry, sunset orange, sunshine yellow, lettuce, indigo, and then purple twilight. And I put some blender solution down first, added 1 drop of each, and then I'm going to use my Copic airbrush and some more blender solution to just kind of smoosh it around. My friend Amanda over at Rise and Procrastinate, she uses a little like air compressor to do her, I think it's like a airbrush to do her blowing of stuff. But I have Copic airbrush, so I thought I would use it. I really don't use my Copic airbrush very often. And now I'm like, I should probably get this out and use it when I Copic color. Anyway, I made this background. So let me tell you a little bit of a story while we go along with this video. So I was suffering. First of all, here's the dry embossing part. I ran it through my machine with the dry embossing, and I got some ink on my folder, so I just cleaned it off with some hand sanitizer. I have been suffering with lack of mojo. I know, it's like a terrible spot to be in. I really usually can make something, and at least make something that works. When I was filming this, there's a lot to cut out. A lot. I destroyed 4 cards. 4 cards during this process. This is not the card. This is not the video I started out to show. I wanted to show several different ways that you could use dry embossing in your card making. That's not how this ended up. But dry embossing on Yupo paper is kind of a neat trick. You can either dry emboss before or after you ink your Yupo paper up. And it's plastic, so it really stays. It doesn't crack like some papers do, and it's just kind of interesting. Very neat texture. It's very subtle on this card, but I will tell you that you can dry emboss many, many things. In the footage that I cut out is dry embossing on vellum, dry embossing on the deco foil sheets, the deco foil, what do they call them? Toner sheets. I dry embossed that and then I ran it through with some toner. It turned out cool, but I just couldn't create with it. And I also dry embossed some of the tonic honey gold cardstock. That turned out really cool too, but I just couldn't make the card happen. And it happens. It happens to a lot of people, and if you're in that spot, it's okay. It's okay. What I decided to do was go back to these alcohol inks that are new to me and that I've been playing with. And I remember seeing kind of a technique a while ago. Like I said, Amanda showed how she blows her alcohol inks around. But I remember seeing a technique a while ago where it was a rainbow that went across the page, kind of like I did, and it was all kind of had those really fuzzy edges or like light edges. I don't know, it might have been Mindy Egan where they showed that, or she showed that. It might have been Mindy Egan. Anyway, I decided I was just going to make that happen. And so I played with it, and I kind of did okay. And then I dry embossed that Yupo paper, because I know that it dry embosses well. And I wanted that subtle texture. I used that Spellbinders folder, and that one is called Picnic. I don't know why it's called Picnic. looks like bricks, but whatever. It's called Picnic. And it just adds some really neat texture behind it. And then I needed to put something on it, and I really wanted to do this globe. It's from Unity Stamps. It's so pretty. It's like a floral globe, and it has a bird sitting on the edge, and it just kind of like explodes off into like nothing. It's from the Radiate the World set. But this is regular Yupo paper and not the like apparently there's a thick one that you can heat emboss on as well. So I don't have that stuff. So I pulled out a piece of heat resistant acetate. This stuff is super new. I'm sure you're probably sick of seeing it on my channel already because I've made like 3 cards with it recently. Anyway, it's some pretty fun stuff for me. I'm enjoying it. So I heat embossed that globe in some platinum. It's by Ranger, some liquid platinum embossing powder. And then I heat embossed the sentiment, which came from a different Unity set that is called Love Brings You Home. And I heat embossed that in black embossing powder over the top. So it's got double heat embossing on it. You know, like that could have been a technique, but no, it wasn't. Dry embossing was, not heat embossing. So here I'm showing you that I'm putting these sequins and pieces of confetti down. And they were so hard to maneuver. I should have got my little pickup stick out. I tried to do it with this tweezers, and that didn't go so well. Anyway, I kept messing with it, and I did figure out, that I had to grab it first and put it down. So the reason that I moved this over to the white backer is so you could see what I was doing. The goal here is to put sequins and confetti down in places that I can hide adhesive behind to adhere it to my piece of Yupo paper, because this is clear acetate and that's plastic. It's all plastic. So, and I put it on the white so I could really see what I was doing. But here, see how the sequins and the confetti are kind of inside the colorway, except for the one that is underneath the word U. I needed a sequin down there to kind of hold that together. So I just added a drop of glossy accents underneath each of the sequins and confetti. And then I lined it up so that the sentiment was straight. My piece of acetate is not straight, but I just trimmed that off and let it all dry. And then I'm going to adhere it to a piece of black cardstock. Everything is trimmed down just a little bit, so there is a super tiny frame of black around here. I know it's hard to see when I'm working on my black mat, but trust me, you'll see it in a minute when I add it to the card base. So here I was like, well, I guess it can pass. I'm sorry, Katy. I really meant to focus much more on dry embossing. I am in a rut, in a stuck rut. There has been a lot going on in my world, and finding time to not only craft, but edit and voiceover and upload and all that stuff has been kind of rough the last few weeks. So this is what I have for you. I did stamp that globe on the inside, and I just did it in kind of a gradient of color that went from like orange to red to purple. I thought it was super pretty and would be kind of fun for the inside. So there's no sentiment, just that globe on the inside. Just adhered that to the white card base, and there's my card. I do pull in a little bit closer here so you can see that dry embossing underneath that acetate. In real life, in person, you can really see it, but it does add really cool texture. I kind of almost wish I would have done it first and seen what would have happened. Anyway, I will have Katy's channel linked below. I would encourage you to stop by her channel and check her out. And as I always say, give cards generously. Bye.